Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hopefully, everybody was able to make it. I know we're starting a little bit late. Game before us ran a little bit of the medals and hats after that game. I think it was a championship game for one of the age levels. So we're running just a little bit behind, but we'll get this game started here probably the next 10, 15 minutes. The Zamboni's out there making his first lap now, and then we'll get the teams out to do a real quick warm up, and then we'll get this one going. So hang in there. We'll be back in about 10, 15 minutes. All right, welcome everybody. Hope you're having a good Sunday. We are going to get some hockey underway here real quick. Teams are coming out on the ice. Grey Wolves are going to be down on the far end from us to start here, so we'll get up close and personal here on the offensive side for two of the periods. Then one of the injury, something to do with the shoulder. I believe he was told it was just bruised, but the way he still can't move it, I don't know if I quite believe that or not. So, but he definitely will not be playing in this game today. He will be on the bench to support his team, though, as we get ready to take on the Sioux City Sting. This is the same team that we took on Friday. They eventually skated to a 5-5 tie. Grey Wolves controlled a lot of play in that third period for a good 4 or 5 minutes. Can definitely play with this team, but they should actually be able to beat this team pretty good if they play like they did yesterday. They did not come out very well on Friday. Struggled to get things going, but have definitely started to gel a little bit here, getting things going in the last two games. Unfortunately, I weren't able to win either one of those games, but pretty decent teams that played quite a bit together and have been playing quite a bit together, I guess, over the last few weeks. So, Grey Wolves finally coming together here. Hopefully, they can put one together on Sunday here and get the victory. So, we will get warm-ups underway with about 3.5 minutes to go. I'm going to step away and talk to a couple of parents here real quick, but we'll be right back. We'll get this spring tournament finale underway. All right, about 30 seconds to go here. We'll get the pucks picked up. So Grey Wolves is taking on this team on Friday. As we were just talking, weren't really gelling together quite yet, as that was the first time some of these guys playing back again. They're back together again in quite some time. But the last two games, they seem to gotten better. Obviously, they didn't get the result they were looking for, but definitely started moving the puck and started playing with a little bit more of an edge, laying the body around a little bit, not shying away from some of the hits and stuff. So if they can do that, keep up that intensity and keep playing that body against this team, I think they'll fare pretty well. They have a couple bigger kids that threw the body around in that first game, but not a lot. So if the Grey Wolves can continue with the way they played yesterday, I think they'll be just fine in this game. But it is Sunday, and sometimes it's hard to get up for these games, especially when you're winless at this point. But just had a kid get hit in the back of the head with a puck there a little bit. I see some of the kids giggling about it, but either way, pucks are almost picked up. The referees are checking the nets. We'll get 15 minutes put up on the board and get this game underway. Technically, this is the third place game, even though there's only 4 teams. So bottom 2 teams are taking on each other to claim that third place prize, whatever it may be. I've seen they were handing out ribbons, or not ribbons, medals to pretty much every team so far that we've watched here. So I don't know if every group is getting medals or how that's working, but they got some in the box down there too as well. Either way, both teams chatting it up with their coaches one last time, and we'll get this game underway. Looks like got the starting line out there for the Grey Wolves. Looks like it's going to be Banky centering Gilbreth and Jacobson. It'll be Gelman and Dennis on defense. Sting about to join him at the face-off dot. We'll get this first period underway real soon. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. Hopefully the stream works for everybody out there today. It did go off the internet. We're going to try that. Don't have great service in here, but hopefully it stays better than it did yesterday morning. One back by the Sting. They'll feed this one forward. Bring it right down into the Grey Wolves end. Shot sent on, blocked away there by Dom. Picked up by Dennis, sends it up the wall. Sting try to return it down low. Banky feeds it through the middle, gets it up to Jacobson. Bouncing puck. Jacobson knocks it down. Pushed it a little too far for himself, and Sting will dump this one down. Down behind the net, picked up by John. Slips away from one Sting player. Skates it forward, had it stolen away from him. Pickpocket there a little bit as that one rolls through the blue paint, but no harm as the Sting were getting a change. And Gilbert will clear this out to the far side, try to get over Jacobson, who tried to one-time that. But we're unable to as this one's brought into the zone. Back comes the Sting down the far side. But if you're through the middle off a skate of top. And a 1-0 lead here for the Sting. So a slow start here for the Grey Wolves. Couldn't quite get much going there on that first shift and a half. And end up giving up a goal here right away. Unfortunate bounce off the defenseman skating into the back of the net, but lots of tears. Out comes Spicer line with Stennis and Omelet as the forward group. It'll be Daxon and Tommy on defense as this Tommy sends it over to Daxon. Daxon through the middle, gets it over to Brecken. Brecken takes a look, skates this one forward down the near side, cuts it to the middle, has some open space. Tried to pass that one back door. Comes back to Tommy, shots in on that. Knocked down. Spicer will grab this one in the corner. Behind the net to Stennis. Stennis centering pass comes out to Omelet. Omelet turns around trying to fire that one on, but the goaltender's able to get a glove on it and we'll hold on. We're going to face off here down in the Sting's end. $13:49. Just over a minute played here in the first period. A 1-0 lead for the Sting. That's Spicer taking the face out. Back to Daxon. Shots it on. That one whistles wide. Comes out to the point. Tommy couldn't quite keep that one in. Sting trying to push it forward. Caught up in Tommy's skates. He's able to get control, but then lost it to a Sting player, and back they come. Working on Daxon on the far side. Slowed up. Daxon picks this one up. He'll skate this one forward. Hands it off to Omelet. Omelet had it taken off of his stick. Sting will dump this one down in to the Grey Wolves end behind the net. Tommy trying to get there first. Tied up behind the net. Picked up by Spicer. Spicer skates this one forward. Hands it off. Gives it over to Stennis. Stennis to the middle. Gets it over to Daxon. Daxon back there from Omelet back up to Daxon. Caught up with some skates. Daxon trying to chase this one down. Penalty coming here. Looks like on the Grey Wolves. Cross check on Daxon. Looks like he'll head to the box The power play coming for the Sting here early in the first period. It'll be Benke to take the face off out there with Jacoby. Gentlemen in betting on defense. This one's one over to the wall, picked up by the Sting at the point. Shots it on through traffic, doesn't make it to the net. Dug out of there by Gentleman, goes behind his own net, sends him through the middle all the way down. That'll clear the zone. Force the Sting back through the middle. It's almost stolen away there by Jacoby as the goaltender just fired it up through the middle. Back comes the Sting down into the Grey Wolves' end. Centering pass knocked away. Sting trying to get control of it. They'll backhand one out to the point. Misplayed there. They'll have to regroup back out in the neutral zone as they go D to D. About a minute 20 left. Shot sent on from the point. Another shot. Neither one of them made it to the net. Krinta's going to try to clear this one out, but can't quite get that one out. Back to Krinta. He'll dump it down. This one will go right on net. Goaltender stops that one. Takes a look. Feeds it forward up to his defenseman. Grey Wolves going for a change. Out come Jacobson, Krinta, Tommy, and Dennis. About 50 seconds still to go on the power play here. Sting have to regroup. Misplayed there. They'll dump this one down. Jacobson's going to chase it down. Sting are able to get control. Defenseman was trying to go for a change. His partner didn't read that and misplayed it a little bit. But here's a Sting. Works to the far side. Shots it on. Big save there down. Cleared out by Krinta. He's going to send this one down. Goaltender makes the save in the corner. Hands it off to his defenseman. About 20 seconds left on the power play here as Jacobson puts a little pressure on. Bad pass there by the Sting. This one will go down, but stopped by Dennis. He'll elect to go behind his own net. Buck sends one through the middle, off a stick. Gathered up here by the Sting. Jacobson putting the pressure on. About 2 seconds, and Daxon will be coming out of the box. He's free and clear here as the Sting send this one forward. Tommy will chase it down in his own zone. Goes behind his own net, takes a look. Back one up to Ahmed. Ahmed up the far wall, feeds it to the middle, gets it to Gilbreth. Gilbreth down the middle, trying to get through the defense. Does, slips by, shots it on. Goaltender makes the save. Puck behind the net. Sting get control. They'll feed this one through the middle or to the near side. Working on betting. Down the right side, shots it on. Big save there by Dom. Off of his angle a little bit, but was still able to make the save as that one sent down the ice here, but it'll be picked up by Sting before it goes for icing. They go behind their own net and take a look. They feed it up the near side wall. Betting will slide up. Had it knocked around him. It'll be Gilbreth in the neutral zone. Picks it up, puts on the brakes. Slips away from one. Dumps this one down into the zone, and he'll go for a change. Sting with control. They'll feed this one through the middle. Try to chip it over to winger on the far side. He'll get to it first. Blocked there by Benke in his own zone. Kale with control. He runs into a player at mid-ice. And Sting dump it back down in. Gentleman will chase after it down below the goal line. Slips away from one check behind the net. Back comes Kale to help out. Kale stretches one over to Brecken on the near side. He tries to push one through the middle. Gets it back to Kale. Kale back to Brecken. Brecken with some speed down the left side. Hands it off to Kale. Kale trying to push it back down to Brecken. Brecken off the sidewall. Shot sent on. Stuck there. Still loose. Brecken's going to send this one up the wall. It's going to come to Dennis. Dennis shots it on tip. That one went off the goaltender and behind the net. Picked up by Jacoby. Trying to stuff that one short side, but clear out of there by the Sting. And they'll skate this one forward. Nice job by Daxon to break that one up. Spins away from one check. Feeds it forward out in the neutral zone. Gets it right on the stick of Brecken. Brecken overskates that one a little bit in the zone, but they're going to say offsides. Daxon jumped a little bit. We're going to get a face-off here just outside of the Sting zone, right in front of their bench, actually. 9 minutes, 15 seconds to go here. First period, 1-0 lead for the Sting. They will start to pick it up here a little bit. Sting get control of that face-off. Push forward down to the Grey Wolves blue line, fed to the middle there by Krinta. Gets it over to Jacoby. Jacoby in the zone, puts on the brakes, takes a shot. That one got partially blocked. Picked up by Sting. They work it up to far side. Kind of stretch one behind the defense. Shoved off of that puck. Picked up on a sting on this side. Shot sent on, goes to the far side. Battle for it, far corner. It'll be Dennis that gets there first for the Grey Wolves. Off of his skate. And we're going to get a penalty here on the Sting. So the Grey Wolves now going on the power play. It'll be Jacobson with Benke and Gilbreth. Looks like Benke will be taking a face off out there with Tommy and Gelman on defense. 8 minutes, 33 seconds to go. 2 minutes coming up on the board here. Power play advantage for the Grey Wolves. One back comes the Gelman at the point. Gelman takes a look. Works it down. Shot sent on. Gets caught up in the skate. Benke couldn't quite get over there. Pushed over to the near side. Chipped out of the zone. Picked up by Gilbreth. He slips away from one player. Gives it off to Benke. Benke brings it in down the left side. Down into the corner, he spins away, lost the handle on it, chipped out of the zone by the Sting, and back down into the Grey Wolves' end. Tommy will skate this one forward, brings it into the zone. Down the left side, takes a shot, that goes off his skating behind the net. Gilbreth will pick it up on the far side. He slips away from one check, had it knocked off of his stick. Sting get control, they'll chip this one up the wall, hits the referee though. Gilbreth stole it back, but Sting will be able to clear this one all the way down. One off for Gelman. Gelman skates this one forward, too far for Jacobson. We'll get an icing and head back down to the Grey Wolves' end with 54 seconds to go on the power play here for the Grey Wolves. Only managed to get one shot, I believe, on this power play so far through the first minute. Spicer will take the face off out there with Stennis and Omelet. It'll be Dex and Nash on defense. One back by Spicer, comes to Nash. Nash spins, sends it up the wall, trying to get that one to Spicer, a little bit too far for him, but he'll pick it up anyways. Stretches one to the far side over to Omelet. Into the zone. Try to clear that out, hits the referee again. Big hit along the boards there, up by Daxon. Picked up by Nash, dumps this one in. Brings it around to the far side. Omelet's going to chase after it. Brecken along the wall, feeds it down low, gets it to Spicer. Spicer back up to Brecken. Brecken feeds it out to Daxon, but he's a little bit off the mark, forced it out. Daxon sends it back to Brecken. Brecken works it to the outside, trying to go around the defense. Shot sit on. Goaltender makes the save. Poked away there by the Sting. It comes up to the blue line, but kept in by Nash. He'll dump it back down low. Put right on a stick of Brecken here. Caught up in Spicer's skates. Comes over to Daxon. Daxon walks it down. Shot sit on back of the net. Beat the goaltender on the glove side, and it's tied up 1-1. That will be a power play goal for the Aviators. 6 minutes, 31 seconds to play here in this first period. 1-1 game between the Sting and the Grey Wolves. It'll be Benke out there with Jacoby and Corinta. Gelman and Dennis on defense. Benke to take the face off. Push forward here. Picked up by Jacoby. He'll skate this one forward. Brings it into the zone. Down the right side. Takes a hit along the boards. Pushes it down low. Gets it to Benke. Benke behind the net. Loops around. Tries to bring it out in the slot. Had knocked off of his stick, but steals it right back. He'll grab this one in the corner. Try to feed it up to Jacoby. Jacoby does have it in the far corner. He feeds one out front. That got stolen away by the Sting player here as they have it along the boards. Corinta trying to disrupt that though and does and pushes it down low. Right back up the wall. Be kept in by Dennis. Shot set on. Down goes Jacoby out front. He got tripped up a little bit. Picked up by Gelman. Makes a move. Hands it off to Dennis. Dennis through the middle. Sends it to the far side. Gets it over to Jacoby. Jacoby with it. At center ice. Had a puck and a stick taken away there. Picked up by the Sting, but stolen away here by Gilbreth. Gilbreth with some speed, gets around one defenseman, chases this one down into the far corner, uses his body, leans into it, lost it a little bit, but slips away. Shot sent on. Another shot from Dennis sent on. That one whistles just wide. Over to Hillman on the far side. He gets rubbed up against the boards. A little bit from behind. Surprised they didn't throw an arm up for that one, but picked up by Gilbreth with some space. He'll skate this one forward. Works it to the outside. Gets on his forehand. Goes down below the goal line. Takes a look. Slows up, puts it on the board, chips it down, gets it to Jacobson. Jacobson sends it around to the near side. This one will come over to Spicer. Spicer with two Sting players on him. They'll get there first and steal this one away. Working on Gelman. Gelman slows it up, but a 2-on-1 opportunity as they feed it across the far side. Dom gets over, makes the save. A little awkward there, but he does get up. Gilbert sends it through the middle. Big hit there by Carter Jacobson. We'll have to clip that one for later. We got about 4.5 minutes to play here in this first period. 1-1 hockey game is picked up by Benke. Benke down the far side. There's a couple different. Side skate this one forward, carves it into the middle. Down the right side, shot sent on off a stick and up into the netting. And we're going to face off down here in the Sting end with 4:08 to play. Oh, Benke out there centering Omelet and Stennis. Jackson and Tommy on Benke. Wins that one over to Ahmed. Ahmed pushes to the middle, still with it. Works it out front. Tries a stuff attempt. Puck ends up going in the corner. Benke gets on it. He gets knocked off along the boards. Overcomes Stennis to help out. He spins away from a check. Gets tied up along the boards. Kicks it to Benke, but Stennis still has it. Tries to push that one down the wall. Sent up to the point. Jackson retreats with Tommy. Back comes Stennis, so and steals that one away. Does a nice job. Just a bulldog out there on defense. Jackson trying to chase that one down. They'll get to it first, so just inside the blue line. This one will be picked up by Tommy. He'll skate this one forward, pokes it forward a little bit too far. He got back on side. He did get. That was tough. He got his leg back on side. Not sure. I get the ref probably couldn't see it through the bodies, but he was definitely back on side with that foot. But either way. 3 minutes, 27 seconds to go here. First period. 1-1 hockey game. This one's one back. Comes to Nash a little bit too far for him. Dennis will retreat and get this one. Tries to send up the wall, but sends it too far. Sting will try to stretch this one to the far side. They'll bring this one in. Slows it up. Hands it off. Off a couple skates, but poked out of there by Corinta. Sent back in. Dennis will try to chip this up the wall. Off a Corinta skate. Sting get control. There's a shot on net. That goes off of Dom. He kicks it up into the glass. Picked up by Bettingham. He sends it up the wall. Gets on to Corinta. Corinta on the side. Sends him through the middle. Bouncing pass comes over to Jacoby. Jacoby. Oh, nice. Cuts it. Takes a shot. Then takes an elbow to the face and no call. Here's Dennis with a shot. That one whistles just above. Bouncing puck came right back out front, but the Sting were able to get on it first. Raylove's going for a change here. Jacoby stays in the zone. In comes Gilbert to help out. A little bit off the mark there. It's picked up by Dennis at center ice. He'll send one off the boards. Gets it through. Picked up now by Gilbert. Gilbert works it to the middle. Onto his forehand. Takes a look. Cuts around. Try to pass it over to Benke. Had it knocked off of his stick at the last minute. Down goes Gilbert from behind. Not sure how they didn't call that one either. Either way, sent down the ice. Picked up by Dennis. He'll chip this one up the wall. Knocked off a Gilbert stick. Sting with it in the zone. Over comes Dennis. Steals that away. Gets it over to Gilbert. Gilbert sees an opening. Feeds it over to Carter. That split his legs and out of the zone. But does clear the zone. But Sting are going to turn this one right back as they send it through the middle. Comes right to Gelman. He feeds it back up to Carter. Carter trying to feed Gilbert in the middle. Puck still loose. Finally corralled here by Gilbert. Nobody seems to get a good control of it here at the moment. Big hit along the blue line there, and back come the Sting. Down the right in, but I'll have to get on side first. Tommy chips that one forward a little bit too far for himself. Big hit there by Benke along the boards as this one's sent down into the Grey Wolves end, picked up by Gelman. Feeds it to Jacobson. Jacobson trying to get the Benke off a skate of a Sting player, and they'll dump it back in. About a minute to play here, first period. Pass there by Gelman, comes out into the neutral zone, picked up by the Sting. Now go to D at center ice. Now send it back over to the near side. This will come to Tommy. He'll send it up the wall right back out into the neutral zone. Backhand in by the Sting, picked up by Gelman on his own blue line. Skate this one forward. Cuts through a couple different players, lost the handle on it. Back comes Omelet. Now Gelman with it. He'll just dump this one down. That'll go for icing. So we got 36 seconds to play here in the first period of this 1-1 hockey game. So these teams playing Friday evening. Gray Wolves seem to be out hustling and muscling them a little bit here in the last half of this period. Able to tie the game back up as the Sting struck right away in that first period, but not a lot of grade A chances since then, as this one's sent all the way down. Sting will get there before the ice. It might have went on net anyways, as this one's sent behind the net. Spicer almost stole that one away. It'll come up to the blue line, but Dennis couldn't quite get there in time. He'll chip this one forward. Big hit there by Stennis. Picked up by Daxon. Backhands one out. Sting will dump this one back down in. About 5 seconds. That'll go for icing. We're going to face off down in the offensive zone here with the final 3.4 seconds play in this first period. It'll be Benke to take the face off. Feeds that one to the sidewall. Sting picked that one up. That'll pretty much kill the end of this first period, and that's it. So we'll head to the benches, chat it over here before we get ready for the second period. I'm going to step away and use the bathroom real quick. We'll be right back. All right, about 15 seconds. We'll get this second period underway. Teams have switched in. Both goalies in position. Referees calling starters to the face-off dot. We'll see who wants it a little bit more here in the second period. Looks like it'll be Benke out there with Corinta and Jacoby. Daxon and Dennis on defense. Stinger going to head to the face-off dot here, and we'll get this going. Benke to take the face-off for the Grey Wolves. One back by the Sting. They'll skate this one forward and dump it down into the zone. Arm up immediately. We'll get an icing call. He had about 5 more feet to skate before you could fire that puck and not get an icing. So we'll head down into the Sting end for a face-off. Be on the far side. Benke take the face-off here. One over to the sidewall, picked up by the Sting. Slipped away, sent up the wall, not out, ducked in by Dennis. He'll chip it down the wall, gets that one to Benke. Benke centering pass, comes right to a Sting player, and they'll bring this one out in the neutral zone. Through the middle. Knocked away by Daxon, but Sting keep it moving forward as they'll get this one down below the goal line. Sting get there first, but stolen away by Benke. Fed up to Corinta through his legs, out to the point. Shot sent on through traffic, hits the side of the net. Sent back up. A point. Shot sent on through traffic. That comes through everybody. I don't know if Dom saw that one, but somehow hit him in the stomach, and he was able to hold on to that one. And we'll get a face-off down in the Gray Wolves' end as we'll get a fresh line out for Wolves. Gentlemen and Nash on defense. It'll be Spicer taking the face-off out there with Gilbreth and Jacobson. Face-off one back. Picked up by Betting in the corner. Feeds it forward. Get that one up to Gilbreth. Puck still loose. Finally corralled here by Spicer. He'll to go behind his own net. Slows things down. Feeds it up the wall. Gets up to Gilbreth. Gilbreth through the middle. Sends it behind Jacobson a little bit, but Jacobson was able to corral that one. Works it through the middle. 1-on-3. Picked up by Spicer. Spicer works it to the outside. Gets it down low. Takes a look. Tries to send one out front. Gilbreth was waiting back door there. Betting slides down to keep this one in. He'll works his way off the boards. Try to feed that one. Jacobson Betting a little confused on who was going to take that puck, and eventually comes out into the neutral zone. Gray Wolves trying to get this one into the zone, but Sting steal this one away, and back they come down the near side, but a nice defensive play there by Jum, knocked that away. Another one. Able to keep that puck up towards the blue line, but Stinger able to work it down low and get it below the goal line. Far side picked up by Betting. Feeds that one up to Gilbreth. Slips away from one check. Bet over to the near side. Picked up by Jacobson. Backhand one up to try to get that to Spicer, but it passes it a little bit behind each guy. That one's chipped up the wall, gets it to Spicer. Spicer feeds it up to Jacobson. Jacobson to the middle, brings it in. Slips through the legs, slips around a check as well into the corner. He gets run over. Gets it up to Gilbreth. Gilbreth along the wall. Arm goes up. We're going to get a penalty here. I believe it's on Gilbreth. It'll be on the Gray Wolves. We're going to face off back down on the Gray Wolves' end. Power play opportunity here for the Sting to take the lead as it's tied up 1-1. They'll have the man advantage for the next 2 minutes. Out comes Benke and Stennis with Daxon and Tommy on defense. Benke to take the face off. Forward there. Picked up by the Sting. Shot sent on through traffic. Dom was able to block that one away. Here's Benke with it. Pushes it down low, gets to Daxon. Daxon just tries to chip it up the wall. Benke digs that one out, gives it over to Daxon. Daxon with some space, skates this one forward. Works it to the outside, lost the handle on it. Doesn't know how to pass, apparently. Finally does get one over to Brecken. Brecken shots it on. Goaltender makes a save. They waited for some players to get a little bit closer to him before they blew that whistle. About a minute and a half here to go on the power play for the Sting. 12:20 to go in the second period. Benke, Stennis, Tollefson, and Norby still out there for the Gray Wolf. Going back by the Sting. They go behind their own net. Surveying things. Send it back D to D. They'll send this one up the wall. Stennis will put the pressure on. This one's stolen away here by Kale and Brecken. Doing a nice job. That one's sent out, but that'll be offsides on the Gray Wolves. Killing some valuable time, though. Minute 10 left to go on the power play. Fresh legs out there for the Gray Wolves. It'll be Omelet out there with Spicer. Dennis and Jace on defense. This one back by the Sting. Bad pass there, though. Picked up by Jason his own end. He'll stretch one through the middle here. Tried to. Went off a Sting player, and Dennis is able to chip this one down. Sting are able to regain control at their own blue line. They stretch it over to the far side, but off the mark, and Dennis is able to dump this one down right on net. Goaltender plays it off for his defenseman. Puts on the brakes, slips away from Spicer. Stretches it over to the side. I'm going to try to poke that one away. Gets a stick on it, slowed it down a little bit, but Sting able to recover and in the zone comes. Shot sent on, push to the side of the net. Picked up by Dennis behind in the corner. Now rung up to the point by Ahmed. I want to make it all the way down and kill some more time on this power play for the Sting. About 20 seconds to play on this power play for the Sting, and then it'll be back to 5-on-5 as Gilbreth will come out of the box as they dump this one down into the zone, and it'll go behind the net, picked up by Dennis. Sends it over, gets it to his deep partner, Gelman. Gelman turns, fires got the defenseman moving, sent it right down through the middle. That'll pretty much do it for the power play. They send this one through the middle. That'll be an icing call as the penalty had expired. Even though they were on the power play anyway, so they can't do that either way. We're going to face off back down in the Sting end. 10:42 to play here in the second period. Back to 5-on-5. Looks like Breck's going to take the face off out there between Jacoby and Corinta. It'll be Tommy and Nash on defense. Push forward here by Brecken. Brecken chases after in the corner, ties up his guy in the corner. Puck underneath his skates. Corinta digs it out, backhands one up the wall, gets it out to Tommy. Caught up in his skates. Does a nice job of keeping it on the blue line, dumps it down low. Jacoby will chase after the near side corner, sent up the wall by the Sting player. Centering pass. Nice breakout here by the Sting with some speed down the near side. Tommy doing a nice job. Almost knocked up there and in, but somehow stayed up. Comes out to the point. Shot sent on. Dom makes the save. Tried to kick that one to the corner, or Corinta is able to chip this one down. Looks like it'll go for icing. And we'll head back down into the Sting end, but a nice job by the Grey Wolves getting back in the zone, disrupting things and clearing that puck out. Sting had some momentum there. 10 minutes to go here, second period, 1-1 hockey game. Looks like it'll be Daxon and Dennis out there with Kale, Carter, and Owen. This one sent over the near side. Kale chase after it. Kale sent it to the middle. Tipped off. It'll end up on stick of Owen Gilbreth. He'll bring it to the outside. Working on the defenseman. Feeds it to the middle, trying to get it over to Carter. Carter trying to get a stick on it. Tied up. Underneath the goaltender. A little pushing and shoving at the end there. But we'll get a face off far side here. The Sting in. Kale to take face off for the Wolves. That one over the this one along away are the boards there. Sting able to feed this one through the middle. Daxton will slide over, try to steal that one away, but Sting able to clear it out. Now send up the wall, down into the Sting end. Carter will chase after for the Grey Wolves. Run around to the near side, just come up to the point, picked up by Daxton. Slides in, lost the hand on that one. Sting will get control and they'll get it out in the neutral zone, but overskated that one a little bit and dumped back in by Dennis. Down the net, Gilbert picks it up. Has it along the wall, gets it out to the point. Daxton keeps it in, uses his body to shield the player from the puck, gets it over to Benke. Now back to Gilbert. Gilbert walks this in, high slot, shots in on. That gets blocked. Daxton's going to slide down, try to keep it in. Now, couple players. He brings it right back in. Gets it over to Gilbert. Gilbert in the far corner, spins away, feeds it over to Kale off of his stick. Up the wall. Sting will get control. They'll work this one out in the neutral zone. Daxton try to steal that one away, but Sting are able to dump it down in. Picked up by Dennis down in the corner. Pushes that one forward, gets it out to the point. Shot sent on. Dom makes the save. Picked up by his brother Daxton. Gets knocked off the puck in the corner here. Kale comes in to help. Looks like Daxton's still pushing it forward, but Sting able to steal it away. Shot sent on. Dom makes the save. And we'll get a face-off down here in the Grey Wolves end with 8:05 to play second period. It'll be Spicer take the face-off out there with the gentleman picked up here by Stennis. Knocked off his stick by Omelette by accident. And Sting are able to recover and get this puck back as they chip this one forward. Comes to Tommy at his own blue line, feeds it up, gets it to Omelette again here. Dumps this one down into the Sting end. We're after it. Stick lifts, steals that one away. Had Spicer all alone. Couldn't quite feed him the puck there. Puck's still loose. Still, here's a wraparound 10 by Brecken. Buries it in the back of the net. I think it took a second try, but he does find the back of the net. And Stennis putting the Grey Wolves up 2-1 here with 7:31 to play in this second period. Goalie was trying to cover that one up. Stennis was able to slip his stick in there and pull it out just before the goaltender could get the glove down. Then wrapped it around goaltender either got there or defenseman's stick on the first shot, but Brecken was able to clean it up anyways and chip it up and over the goaltender into the back of that, giving the Gray Wolves their first lead of the game. Up here by Gelman, behind his own net. Tries to chip it up the wall. A couple players go down in the corner. Sent up the wall. Amla trying to get here. Sting got a couple players in there. They dig it out loose. Over comes Spicer playing the body, but Sting have control. Shot sent on, up and over the glove. The Dom and back of the net, and Sting strike to tie this one back up quickly. Quick answer to that one. So a 2-2 hockey game here with 7:06 to play in the second period. It'll be Benke to take the face-off out there with Corinta and Jacoby. Sting kicked this one forward, stolen away by Corinta. Hands it off to Dennis. Dennis feeds up the wall, gets it to Jacoby. Overcomes Benke to help a little bit. Here's Dennis with it. He'll skate it forward. Hands it off. Gets back. Brings it into the zone. Jumps it down into the corner. Comes up behind the net. Dennis with it. He'll send it off the wall. Try to get that one up to Jacoby, but couldn't quite get it past the Sting player, and they send it back down into the Grey Wolves' end. Up to Corinta, off of his stick. Shot sent on, stopped there by Dennis. Dennis feeds it up to Jacoby. Knocked off of his stick, but battles forward along the boards here. Stolen away by the Sting. They'll dump this one back in right to Dennis. He'll chip it through the middle and gets this one up to Corinta. Corinta. Sting player had read that one and was able to sneak behind him and steal it away. A nice job by Benke here stealing this one away. Sends it out front. Over to Gilbreth in time. Gelman trying to keep this one in at the point. Now it's picked up by Gilbreth off the wall. Dumps it down in the corner. Jacoby chases after around the back of the net and able to ring it up the far side. Send up the glass, up and out of play. Dexton will retreat back into his own zone to pick this one up. Takes a look with some speed, comes through the middle. Goes down the right side, uses the referee as a shield. Stuff attempt, trying to feed that one out front to a couple of players. Went through everybody, came out to Spicer at the blue line. Picked up by Daxton again. So he's just going to skate it forward. Hands it off to Shot sent on. Goaltender makes a save. Jacobson keeps that one in, though. There's Jacobson. Feeds the shot. Wide open net. Couldn't quite get the rebound with Spicer. He pushed it wide. And back to Carter. Carter trying to give it back to Gilbreth. Getting the goaltender moving. Gilbreth gets swallowed up. Puck goes down into the corner. They'll ring this one up to the point. Kept in by Daxon. Takes a shot. Sends that one wide. Send up the wall. Gelman with it. Grey Wolves putting the pressure on. That one up and out of play. And we're going to whistle here down in the Sting end. With 4 minutes, 41 seconds to play in this second period. 2-2 hockey game. That'll be Stennis take the face off. Looks like out there with Benke and Omlin. Be Dennis and Tommy on defense. Stennis. One back by the Sting. They'll send this one through the middle. Knocked down here by Tommy. Sting player able to recover, but Tommy did a nice job of getting back. Takes that one away. Picked up by Dennis. Feeds it out to the point. Now sent off the backside of Ahmed B, trying to get there in time. Does. Pushes it forward to himself. Down the right side. Has Ahmed. Feeds it over to the far side. Gets over to Ahmed. Ahmed shot sent on. Benke trying to get a poke at it. Looks like the puck will get underneath the goaltender as he's laying on his backside and get a job by Brecken there to poke that one forward to himself, chase it down, get a pass over to Ahmed. There's Brecken to take the face off again for the Grey Wolves, tied up. One back by the Sting. They'll send it over to the far side. Sting will get on it first on the wing. They send it up the wall. Now centering passes off the mark, picked up by Tommy. He'll dump this one back in. Grey Wolves will get on side. Came off the wall, a little weird there. Stretch pass on this side, jumps over the stick of the Sting player. This one will go all the way down, arm up, icing call on the Sting, and we'll head back down into their end for the faceoff. Gray Wolves sending out some fresh legs. Looks like it'll be Spicer out there with Corinta and Jacoby. Be Betting and Gelman on defense. We got just under 4 minutes to play here in the second period. Here's Spicer. He's been a dynamo in the face-off dot all weekend. Wins that one back. Corinta was able to get a shot off. Goaltender kicked out a big rebound. Sting able to bring this one out. Now down into the Grey Wolves. Nice job by Nash to kick that one down. Goes behind his own net. Feeds it up the wall. Gets it to Corinta. Four along the boards. Picked up here by Spicer. Corinta pushes it forward to himself. Trying to get this one out of the neutral zone. And he will. Over comes Jacoby. Sting still with control. They'll work it down in on this near side. Now sent out by Gelman. Out to the point. But shots it on. Blocker down by Dom. Second attempt. Dom makes a save on that one too. Caught up in Corinta's pads. Another shot set on. That one will roll down on Dom. He'll poke it forward and gets that one to Jacoby. Jacoby with it. Hands it off to Spicer. Spicer through the middle. Cuts it to the middle. Shots it on. That one goes wide. He'll go for a change. Jacoby will chase after it. Send up the wall to come up to Gelman at the point. He slides down, takes a shot. That one went just up and over the net. Goaltender was trying to reach up for it. But out to the to keep that one in. He'll sneak out into the neutral zone. He'll chip it over to the far side. Jacoby and the Stinger able to clear this one out. Dennis retreats to his own blue line with it. Dennis through the middle. Try to hit Daxton, put it behind him. Sting steal it away and back into the zone they come. Shot set on into the glove of Dom. He'll hold on. And we're going to face off here on the near side in the Grey Wolves' end. 2 minutes, 31 seconds to go. Second period, 2-2 hockey game. It'll be Stennis out there with Jacobson and Gilbreth. Norby and it looks like Dennis is out there on defense. Face off one back by the Sting again. They send that one to the far side. Dennis chips it forward, gets it up to Owen. Owen runs into a Sting player, and they're able to dump this one back in. Daxton trying to get a handle on this one. He backhands one up. Gets this one to Jacobson. Dump down a little bit too far for Brecken. Sting regain control, and they feed it to the far side. Nice shot by Dennis. Steals that one away. Sends it back out into the neutral zone, forcing the Sting to regroup. But Sting dumped this one back down in. 2 minutes to play here, second period. Skated forward by Dennis. Sends it off the wall to himself. Works it down into the zone. Cuts it to the middle. Takes a shot. Goaltender makes the save. Holds on. We're going to face off. Down in the Sting end here. And out comes some fresh Grey Wolves here. Spicer will be coming out to center. It looks like Benke and Omelet. Tommy and Gelman on defense with about a minute 50 to play. Face off one back. Comes to Tommy. Tommy looks, shoots through traffic. That went off a skate out front. Went just wide. Omelet trying to get over to the wall here. Sting get there first. Knocks that one away though. Spicer and Benke down there as well. Omelet working his way over, but Stinger able to get this one out. Stolen away by Tommy at center ice. It goes off a skip player. Ends up going into the Grey Wolves' end. As Gelman pushes that one forward, but a little bit too far for Omelet. Picked up by the Sting in their own end. Stretched up the wall here. Dump down in. Dom gloves that one. You got to play it. You got to have someone around you. You can't hold on to pucks. Then he waited too late to do it. Then through the middle, that one comes on the stick of Tommy. Tommy feeds it up, gets it up to Omelet. All the way down, picked up by the Sting behind their own net. They feed one through the middle, but this one's stolen away by Omelet. Works it down the right side. Sends it out front. That one off a Benke skate. Faked the shot, had the goaltender down. But put it into the skates of Benke as this one sent all the way down. Nash is going to chase after it. Feeds it off to Stennis. Stennis feeds it out into the neutral zone. Sting get control. They send it back towards the Grey Wolves' end. Picked up by Stennis at his own blue line. About 0.5 seconds to play. Works this one through the middle. Pushes it forward, trying to get there himself. Jackson Kirk might reach that one. As back he comes. Now he catches an edge. Down comes the player. Shots it on. Dom kicks that one aside. Picked up by Daxton. About 10 seconds to go. Picked up by Brecken. Brecken and Daxton down into the zone. Shots in on. Brecken. Goaltender makes the save. Caught up in the corner, only about 1 second. That's the end of the second period, and we head to the third, tied up 2-2, just like we were on Friday. Both these teams playing pretty even. Got a long ways to go, though. 15 minutes still to play. Lots of hockey. But it is go time now. We'll see what they do when they come out of the break here. I'm going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Third period about to get underway. Both goalies switching ends. Grey Wolves are at the center face-off dot, ready to get things going. Sting about to join them here now. 15 minutes up on the board. It'll be Spicer out there centering Gilbreth and Jacobson. It'll be Dennis and Jace on defense. Face off, one back, goes right past Dennis. He'll retreat into his own end to pick this one up. Takes a look. Sends one down the net, gets it over to Gelman. Gelman feeds it up, gets it to Gilbreth. Gilbreth loops back, brings this around the far side. It's going to get over to Jacobson. Jacobson overskates that one, but recovers. Backhands one behind the net. Picked up by Dennis. Pushes that one forward, gets it up to Spicer. But Sting able to steal that away and push it back down low. Sent off the wall, out to the point. Shot sent on. Backhanded over. Shot sent on. Never got to the net as that got blocked. I think that was Spicer that got a foot on it, maybe. No, that shot sent on. Dom was able to redirect that into the far corner. Now stolen away by Jacobson. Now Sting have it back again somehow at the point. Shot sent on. Dom kicks that one into the corner. Gentleman battles for it. Gets knocked down there a little bit. Over to the near side. Picked up by Dennis. Feeds this one up to Gilbreth. Gilbreth slips away from one. Feeds it to the far side. Just a little bit too far for Jacobson. Backhands one off for Spicer. Spicer walks it in. Shots it on. Glove down by the goaltender. And we're going to face off here down in the Sting end. Just over a minute played here in the third period. Tied up 2-2 in the Grey Wolves. Out comes Benke with Omelet and Stennis. Tommy and Nash on defense. One back, gets it to Benke. Over to Tommy. Tommy dumps it down, comes loose to Benke. That was Stennis who backhanded one on. Goaltender was able to make the save. Down low. This one's sent out all the way down. Tommy will chase it down as he's got one chasing after him. Slips away from that check, goes behind his own net, uses it for cover. Slows things down, takes a look, feeds it forward, gets this one up to Omelet. Omelet feeds it forward, gets it to Benke. Benke down the near side. Gets swallowed up by a couple of Sting players. Omelet follows it up, but Sting able to keep control of it, and they feed this one forward. Back comes Stennis. Takes a look, feeds it through the middle, gets it to Benke. Benke dumps this one in. All the way down into the near side corner where Omelet will get after it. He pushes it down low, but Sting will get on it first. Some through the middle. Picked off by Brecken. The Stinger able to regain control, and they'll skate this one out. Brought in off sides there by the Sting, and we'll get a face off just outside the zone, right in front of the Grey Wolves bench. They're going to send out some fresh forwards here. Looks like it'd be Spicer centering Corinta and Jacoby. Dennis and Daxon on defense. Just under 13 minutes to play here, third period. Tied up in the ref skates. Spicer pushes it back, gets it to Daxon, popped up in the air though, and goes back into the Grey Wolves end where it's picked up by Spicer. He loops, takes a look. Carves to the middle, had his pocket picked there a little bit and pushed down low. Over comes Dennis, trying to seal that one off. Stick lift there, gets the puck back. Skates it forward, has a little bit of a lane, but got cut up along the boards. Now Daxon has it. Goes behind his own net, takes a look. Backhands one up the wall. He's going to try to chase this one down. Picked up by Jacoby. Tried to hold the zone, but couldn't quite do that. And we'll get a face-off right in front of the Sting bench here with 12:14 to play in the third period. That'll be Dennis out there centering Jacobson and Gilbreth. Tommy and Gelman on defense. This one dumped down in. Goes below the goal line. Jacobson will chase after it. Dennis steals this one away along the boards. Works it down low. Hands it off to Jacobson. Jacobson tied up along the boards. Caught up in his feet. Comes out to the blue line. Dennis comes back to recover. Takes a look. Feeds one over. Gets that one over to Gilbreth. Gilbreth dumps it down in. That one will go down in below the goal line. Jacobson will try to chase this down. Beats his man there in the corner. Bouncing puck comes out into the neutral zone. Now jumped over Tommy Dick. He'll send this one to Gilbreth, but off of Owen, and Sting steal it back. They pass it back into their own zone. Now back up to their blue line. They'll work this one into the neutral zone. All the way down below the goal line. Be picked up by Gelman. Puts on the brakes. Gets swallowed up. Spins away, though. Stretches this one through the middle. A little bit too far for Brecken, though. And we'll get an icing call. Then we'll head back down to the Grey Wolves end. 11 minutes, 11 seconds to go here in the third period. Tied up 2-2 between the Sting and the Grey Wolves. Last game of this spring tournament. Be Spicer to wins this one back clean, gets it right to Nash. Nash goes behind his own net, takes a look, sends it up the wall, gets it up to Omelet, but over his stick, and the Sting are able to keep it in. They work it over the near side. Shots net. The side goes behind. Nice job by Nash there, but Sting are able to keep the zone. Kicked away there by Dom, trying to feed it up front. Daxon comes over and uses his body and pokes that one away. Now he'll follow this up. That'll be Spicer that clears the zone. He moves it down the right side. He gets sealed off along the boards. Here comes Banky. Sting with it behind their own net. They send it up the wall. No Grey Wolves on this side. Kept it in at the point by Daxon. Shot sent on. Goaltender makes the save. Comes out to the blue line, but Nash can keep that one and he'll dump it in, but the Grey Wolves have to get onside. Now they are, and they'll come back in, but Sting are able to clear it out right away and through the middle. Working around to the right side. Corinta. Shot sent on. Kicked in towards the net. Went off the pipe a little bit, but stayed out, and here's Nash. Feeds it up. Goes up to stick a little bit too far. Sting will get it in their own end as we go under 10 minutes to play here in the third period. Stolen away here by Stennis. In all alone. Works it. Shot sent on. Goaltender makes the save. And Sting are able to get control, and they'll work this one out of their own zone. Stennis almost stealing that one back. He's been a Bulldog all day today. Showing up in all the right spots. Picked up by Corinta. Far side. Works it over to Jacoby. Jacoby into the middle. Brings it into the zone. Chasing after it. Stolen away by the Sting. Jacoby forces him to go the other way. Right into Brecken. Brecken steals this one away. Sent to the middle. Comes out to Dennis. Dennis trying to slip this down the middle. Kicks it forward. Gets it over to Jacoby. Jacoby shots it on. Puck leaks out the backside. what the whistle had blown. That thing was rolling in. Gilbreth would have had a chance to poke that one in, but a whistle had blown already as it leaked out the backside. Unfortunate there for the Grey Wolves, but a bit of luck here for the Sting. 9 minutes, 11 seconds to go. 2-2 hockey game. Spicer out there, take the face off between Jacobson and Gilbreth. It'll be Tollefson and Norby on defense. Face off one back, comes right to Daxon. Tried to one time that one, whiffed on it, turns around, shot sent there on by Gilbreth. Goes just Sting get control. They'll send this one up the wall. Over to the far side, gets that one to Gilbreth. Gilbreth sends it to the middle, gets over to Carter. Carter shots it on, goaltender makes the save. Bouncing puck behind the net here, sent up to the point. Here's Tommy. Tommy shots it on, bouncing puck right into the glove. Face off, one to the wall. Here comes back to the point to Tommy. Tommy sends it down the wall. Far side over to Gilbreth. Gilbreth trying to feed it up the wall to get it to Daxon, but Stinger able to steal this one away, and they'll bring it out into the neutral zone. Picked up by Carter in his own zone. Goes behind his own net to take a look. With some speeder on the wall, tries to feed it out in the neutral zone, but Stinger able to keep that in. Now they get a shot off here. That one goes up and over the net. Over to the far side. Defenseman keeps it in. Jackson to poke that one away. Up to the point. Shot sent on. Goes well wide. It'll be picked up by Tommy on the near side. He backhands one behind the net. Jackson goes back. It gets sent back out front, but here's Gilbreth who picks it up and skates out in the neutral zone. Covering through the middle. Has a couple men to make. Gets on his forehand. Shot sent underneath the glove. Back to the net. Grey Wolves regain the lead 3-2 here with 7:53 to play in this third period. So just like he did on Friday, a couple of times beating that goaltender low on the glove side or between the legs. It'll be Brecken out there to take the face off between Kale and Grayson Omlin. This one pushed forward. Here's Brecken. Skates it forward. Takes a shot. That one goes up and over the net. Rebound stuff just off the side and goes behind the near side. Nash steps up to try to keep it in, but Stinger able to push this one forward. Brecken trying to chase down. He goes, though. Lost an edge. Backdoor pass. Nice DX stop. Picked up by Benke. Benke trying to chase this one down. Pushes it forward to himself. He's behind the defense. In all alone. Gets the goaltender moving. Hit the pipe, though. Got him moving. Got on his backhand, but hit the pipe. Here's Ahmed. Shots it on. Puck still loose. Ahmed trying to stuff this thing in. Up comes Nash. Nash with a shot. That gets blocked. Back comes the Sting. 3-on-2. Nash trying to get back to help out Gelman. Shots it on. Tried to glove that. Was Dom, but couldn't quite hold on to it. Gelman helped him out, though. Crisis averted there for the Grey Wolves. This one's sent all the way down. That'll be icing. This Kale needed a break. There he's huffing and puffing. So 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Third period, 3-2 lead for the Grey Wolves. It'll be spicy there between Corinta and Jacoby. Looks like Tommy and Dennis on defense. This one clean back to Tommy again. Spicer doing well again in the face-off dot, but the Sting have control at the blue line. They send it down the far side wall. Now shot sent on, gets tipped just wide. Another attempt. They find the back of the net off the back of Dom and into the net. And tied up 3-3. Another lazy goal there. Given up by the Grey Wolves. And we're tied up once again. 6 minutes and 36 seconds to go. That'll be Spicer out there with Corinta and Jacoby. Jason Daxon on defense. One back by the Sting. Got forward here. Push forward into the zone by the Sting. Down into the right-hand corner. put on a break. They feed it out front. Shots on blocked there by Daxon. Picked up by Jace. Jace will skate this one forward. He's got some space. Works it to the far outside with some speed. Trying to get around the defenseman. Nicely defended, but stays with it. Has opportunities. Fed it just behind Trent. It'll come over out into the neutral zone. Picked up by Jacobson. He feeds it over to Daxon. Daxon will skate this one forward down the right side. Works it to the middle. Brings it around the net. Stuff attempt. Comes off a goaltender. Fed out to Brecken. He feeds it on net, but the Sting are able to get control of this, and they'll go behind their own net. Far side. Gilbreth will put the pressure on. Chipped up the wall. This will be kept in by Stennis. Stennis dumps it down in. It'll come over the near side to Jacobson. Jacobson out of the corner. Feeds up to the point. It'll come out to Daxon, but he'll have to bring it out in the neutral zone. He goes around one. He'll bring it right down Main Street here. Gets around one defender. Sent that one off the goaltender's helmet up and out of play. And we'll get a face-off here in the Grey Wolves' end. No, 5 minutes, 28 seconds to go. 3-3 hockey game. It'll be Stennis taking the face-off out there between Gilbreth and Jacobson. It'll be Tommy and Nash on defense. Face-off one back comes to Tommy at the point. He sends it off the wall down low, trying to get that one to Owen. Sent over to the near side by the Sting. Nash will slide down and try to keep this one in, but the Sting will be able to chip this out, but it'll be Jacobson that grabs it. He puts out a nice little move. It's a hand to the face. Not sure how we didn't get the call there, but either way, here's Stennis, far side. Gets tripped up in a corner. Stolen away by Owen, but stolen right back by the Sting. They'll chip this one out. Fed to the middle. Tommy comes over to steal that one away. Makes a nice little move. Skates this one forward. Gets it up to the blue line. Dumps it in. He gets rolled off the puck into the wall. Comes back to Stennis. Stennis chips it over the far side, over to Gilbreth. He tried to send it back to Tommy. They off the mark, ends up going back towards the in. Tommy with it. Sends it over to Stennis. Stennis backhands one over to Nash. Nash will feed it forward to Carter, but behind him, and Sting will get control. They'll feed it to the middle. Stolen away here by Gilbreth. Brings it in. Trying to hand it off. Had his pocket picked, but it comes right over to Jacobson as he battles for it and along the corner. This one will be sent up the wall. Nash slides up. He takes a shot, but that one off a stick. Stretch pass by the Sting. They'll get it out on the far side. Into the zone. Trying to get around Dennis. Nice poke check, but sent on net. Dom will collect that one, and we'll get a face-off down in the Grey Wolves' end. 3 minutes, 57 seconds. 3-3 here between the Sting and the Grey Wolves. It'll be Spicer to take the face-off. Out there with Omland and Benke. One by the Sting. Shots in on, glove by Dom. Will reset and do it again. Dennis and Gelman on defense. There's Spicer. Wins that one back. Gets it clean to Gelman. Gelman within the corner. Gets it up the wall. Gets it back to Spicer. Spicer chips up the wall. Gets this one to Omelet. Omelet backhands one over Benke. Benke into the zone. Puts it over to the right side. Gets on his forehand. Shot set on up and over the goaltender's glove. Back of the net. And a 4-3 lead here for the Grey Wolves with 3:39 to play. Nice job by Kale there. Spread the zone a little bit, not just try to go right down Main Street, getting the goaltender and the defense moving, shooting it back the other way up and over the goaltender's glove, giving the Grey Wolves a 1-goal lead here with just over 3.5 minutes to play. Here's Spicer. One back by the Sting. Poke forward, kicked away by Ahmed, but it'll be Sting to get on it on the near side. They move it back to the defense. Grey Wolves putting the pressure on. Spicer and Benke in there. Now Ahmed joining the play over here on the near side, but the Sting are able to clear it out to the far side. Gelman trying to seal off the Sting player. Does a nice job. Steals that one away. It's tied up in the corner. Pushes it forward to himself. Still has control. Feeds it through the middle and gets it up to Hudson. Back comes Hudson Spicer. Down the far side. Works to the middle. Feeds one over. Over to Dennis. Dennis walks it down. He had it poked off of his stick, but stays with it down in the corner. Bouncing puck goes over to the far side. Sting will get there first, but a little bit of a stumble. They're able to clear this one out, though. It'll come to Gelman. Gelman with some space. Player's going for a change. He's got wide open ice here. Feed that one forward and try to get a banky, but not quite enough. And Sting will bring this one right back. Step back playing D, filling in for the defenseman that stepped up. Does a nice job of defending along the boards. Nobody wanted it for the Grey Wolves. Sting will play pitch and catch along the wall. It'll be Jacoby trying to push this one out, but Sting were able to steal that before he could get it out. They'll dump it over to the far side. Benke over skated that one, sent in on net, kicked aside by Dom. It'll be Gelman that dumps this one down. It won't go for icing as the Grey Wolves will go for a change. Picked up right in front of their own net. Sting with control. They'll move it back to the near side, now through the middle. Corinta just missing that with the stick. Dexton pokes it away. Sting get control, but Stennis knocks that out of the air. Dexton's able to chip it out in the neutral zone. We got under 2 minutes to play here. Dump down in. No ice, they say, as Tommy could have played it. He's the one that grabs it and goes behind his own net. Tommy with some space, skates this one forward. With some speed down the near side, brings it into the zone. Dumps this one down low over to the far side. Jacoby trying to chase over there to get along the wall. Here's Corinta coming over to help, but not quite soon enough. Big hit there by Daxon, knocked down by Stennis, but they're going to say a high stick. And we're going to get a face-off back down in the Grey Wolves end. Looks like we got a timeout called here by the Sting. They did this last on Friday with about a minute, actually 2 minutes and 40 seconds or so to play, and they were able to score not long after that timeout to tie it up. As the Grey Wolves had scored a couple in quick succession to take the lead there, and see if the Grey Wolves can stand tough today and keep the puck out of the net this time. Last time, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds, the Sting had pulled their goaltender, so I would suspect them to do that again right here and go 6-on-5 with the offensive zone face-off upcoming. They do have 6 on the ice, plus the goalie at the moment. I would expect him to be jumping off real soon. We'll take a look over there. It looks like he will head to the bench, so we will go empty net, 6-on-5 here. Man advantage for the Sting. Just a minute 26 to play. The Grey Wolves head back out there. Looks like it'll be Spicer centering Gilbreth and Jacobson. It'll be Tommy and Daxon on to look for Spicer to win this one back to Tommy. Tommy will probably send it behind the net, ring it around to the far side, send over to the wall by the Sting. They win this one. They get a shot off, sent into the back of the net. Not sure went in. That was a pretty weak shot, but somehow still finds the back of the net. We're tied up 4-4. Pretty weak shot there. Somehow ends up in the back of the net. A little net. We're problem with the net down there. So tied up 4-4, minute 21 to play. Kind of a weak attempt there by the Grey Wolves right after that face-off. Well, they seem like they want to play a little more jump here off that one. Sting send this one up the wall at point. Daxon keeps it in. Trying to get it down towards the net. Here's Tommy. He'll back one back down low, but stolen away by the Sting, and they'll feed this one out into the neutral zone. Tommy will chase it down. Feeds it forward just a little bit over Owen's stick. It'll go down below the goal line. Tied up behind the net. Jacobson in there. Gilbreth now. He steals this way along the wall. Tried to feed it out front. There's Tommy with it. Tommy backhands one up. A little bit too far for Jacobson. Jacobson goes for a change. A couple of players going for a change. Gilbreth almost stealing that one away right in front of the net. Here's Stennis trying to keep that one in, but it'll be offsides. And we're going to face off here just outside of The Sting end with 22.6 seconds to play. Oh, Brecken will take the face off out there between Kale and Owen. Daxton and Gelman on defense. Face off one back here by the Sting, but Daxton skates this one forward into the zone, lost the handle on it. Back comes the Sting, but stolen away by Brecken. About 10 seconds to go. Poked off of his stick. Sun goes up and around the back, and that'll do it for regulation. I don't know if we actually get an overtime here, or if we're going to get a shootout, or if we're just going to be done. We'll find out here in just a minute. Talking it over. Looks like we're staying on the ice here. See what we get. I don't know if they're going to go to a shootout or a short little 5-minute overtime here. I don't think they have a ton of time to do a lot, but we'll see. Maybe it's 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. Who knows? We're going to find out here in just a moment. Yep. 5 minutes of 3-on-3. 5 minutes of 3-on-3 apparently. So possession is the name of the game. Do not just throw the puck away. You will give the other team an odd man rush. So do the best you can, even if you have to take it out of the offensive zone just to get things set up and find that mismatch. Find those lanes. Don't just throw it. Brecken will take the face off out there with Owen Gilbreth. Daxton on defense. Well, here we go. Face off one back by the Sting. They'll have control here in the 3-on-3 first. They'll send it to the near side. They'll work it through the middle. They'll bring it into the zone. Playing quarterback back to Gilbreth. Here they are. If they hurry 2-on-1. Owen brings it into the zone down the right side. Shots in. Rings it off the pipe. Daxton follows it up. Luckily, he got his body on that, or it would have been a 3-on-0 the other way. Dump back out into the neutral zone. Picked up by Daxton. Fiedlin over to Brecken. Offsides, though. Sorry about the camera work. Offsides there on the Grey Wolves. So it'll be Spicer out there with Benke and Gelman. One forward here, stolen away by Benke. Benke slips around the defense, uses his body to get up front, gets around the goaltender, tried to stuff it. Goaltender makes a big save, and back comes the Sting. Far side, Spicer trying to get back. Nice job by Gelman there, forcing them to slow down a little bit. Benke trying to steal that one away along the wall. Sting will elect to just bring it out into the neutral zone. Sent through the middle. Misplayed there. Benke trying to steal that one away again. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Here's Gelman with it. Gelman sends it over to Spicer. Spicer takes a look. Feeds it up to Gelman. Gelman with some speed. Down the left side. Cuts it to the front. Gets knocked down. Back of the net. Benke scores in a 5-4 victory here for the Grey Wolves. I think there's going to be a penalty upcoming as well. But Grey Wolves find a way to get it done in overtime. Get their first win of the weekend. Finish it off that way. And that will be it for the Grey Wolves here this spring. I don't think we have any other tournaments planned. Maybe we'll see if we got one in midsummer or the fall if time works out. As you see, both teams going through the customary handshake line after every game. Looks like there is some medals to be handed out to somebody. Looks like just for the Gray Wolves. So that'll be it for us. We appreciate you all joining us this afternoon for the game. Hopefully you have a good rest of your Sunday, and we will see you guys next.